Iron Man didn't turn on Captain America because he hated him. He turned on him because he was terrified of what happened when heroes went unchecked. And Captain America didn't fight Iron Man to win. He fought him because freedom was already dying. This is the true comic book story of how their friendship collapsed and nearly destroyed Marvel's world. Before Civil War, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers had already clashed quietly for years. Not with fists, but with philosophy. Tony Stark believed in systems, oversight, accountability, fail-safes. Steve Rogers believed in people, individual judgment, moral responsibility, personal choice. They worked together because the threats were bigger than their differences. But every global crisis pushed them closer to a breaking point. And then Stamford happened. In Civil War #1, the New Warriors chased a group of supervillains into Stamford, Connecticut. One of them, Nitro, detonated with city-level force. Hundreds of civilians died, children died, and the world snapped. Public opinion turned vicious overnight. Superheroes were no longer symbols, they were liabilities. The U.S. government responded with the Superhuman Registration Act. The act demanded every superhuman reveal their identity and operate under government command. Tony Stark supported it immediately. Why? Because Tony had lived his entire life watching inventions escape their creator's control. Weapons, armor, AI. To him, unregistered heroes were walking weapons without safeties. Captain America refused. Not emotionally, logically. Steve understood something Tony didn't want to admit. Governments don't stay moral under pressure. To Steve, registration wasn't safety. It was the first step toward authoritarian control. Tony tried persuasion first. He offered Steve leadership of the registered heroes. He believed that if Cap was in charge, the system could stay clean. Steve saw the trap immediately. You don't fix a bad law by enforcing it better. That was the moment the Avengers split. This wasn't random brawling. Iron Man planned the war, created negative zone prisons, built countermeasures for nearly every hero, recruited Reed Richards and Hank Pym for predictive modeling, deployed Thor clones, Ragnarok, to intimidate resistance. Captain America built something else, a network, underground cells, safe houses, intelligence routes, heroes who trusted each other, not institutions. This was Iron Man's worst nightmare. Unregulated power moving freely. Their early clashes weren't explosive. They were controlled, surgical. Tony never tried to kill Steve. Steve never tried to destroy Tony. Every fight was about forcing surrender. Iron Man fought with prep, drones, containment fields. Captain America fought with timing, positioning, and leadership. Steve didn't overpower Tony. He outmaneuvered him. Repeatedly, everything changed when the Thor clone killed Goliath. That wasn't an accident. It was a consequence of Tony's mindset. If power could be controlled, it could be justified. Steve saw the future clearly in that moment. This wasn't safety. This was escalation. In Civil War #7, the final battle tore through New York. Cap was winning. Not emotionally. Strategically. Iron Man was damaged. Registered heroes were falling back. Then civilians intervened. Firefighters, paramedics, ordinary people. They begged Captain America to stop. And Steve finally understood the cost. Even if he was right, the war had already poisoned everything. He surrendered. Iron Man won the Civil War, but the victory hollowed him out. Heroes imprisoned trust, shattered resistance movements growing, the public still afraid, and Captain America? He was assassinated shortly after. Tony Stark attended the funeral knowing something terrible. He had enforced order. but lost the soul of heroism. Iron Man and Captain America weren't enemies. They were two men trying to prevent disaster, using opposite methods. Tony believed fear could be managed. Steve believed fear must never rule. That conflict didn't end with civil war. It became the blueprint for every major Marvel crisis that followed. Because once heroes fight over control, the world never goes back.